You use the Intelligent Vehicle Gateway, or IVG, to exchange information with dispatchers and use mobile applications. Depending on how your IVG is configured, you may view videos, hear audio files, and download PDFs, surf the internet, record your hours of service, navigate among various stops. The IVG alerts you when it displays messages on the screen, plays an alert sound, or reads an alert.
A new message has arrived.
Illuminates the home button's halo. The halo remains lit until the message is read or the alert is canceled or corrected. The halo color indicates the notification's importance. Red, emergency. Orange, urgent. Blue, normal. If you receive messages of different priorities, the highest priority message is indicated. When you read that highest priority message, the next highest priority message lights. Be aware that, to eliminate driver distraction, many applications on the IVG are not accessible when the wheels are turning. Only when safely parked may you access those applications. You interact with the IVG when you tap active areas on the screen, push buttons on the IVG, and use the on-screen keyboard to create and respond to messages. When opened, a standard QWERTY keyboard overlays the bottom of the screen and you tap to type. When done, close the keyboard to return to full screen. The IVG shows the most important information at a glance on the home screen. Your DOT or MOT hours and any alerts or notifications are displayed at the top. You can see what communication method is available: terrestrial, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and if voice command is active. Tap Enabled Applications to use them. If an application is grayed out, it's not available because it's not licensed or not enabled on that IVG. Scroll among screens to access additional applications, and, if in an application, click the Go Back button to return to the home screen. If you need help with the IVG or any application on the IVG, tap the Help button to open the onboard support system. IVGs have an SD card slot for additional memory, USB ports to attach a printer, scanner, keyboard, or mouse, and a row of LEDs that are used to troubleshoot problems with the hardware. Because some applications on the IVG need to know your ID, you must log in to the IVG using the login your company created for you. To log in, go to the home screen and tap Driver Login. Type your driver ID and password, and if logging in as the second driver, identify as the active or inactive driver. Close the keyboard and tap OK. Identify a duty status and tap OK. Your duty status and hours of service is different from being logged into the IVG. Logging in identifies as being in the vehicle, and the person doing the driving must be identified as the active driver. The active driver's hours of service logs are updated during the course of the day. Be aware that changing your login status from active to inactive does not put you into off-duty status. You must maintain accurate hours of service duty status logs by using the Hours of Service application to manually change duty status, verify log changes from the back office, and certify logs daily. When you log in, the DOT or MOT clock begins to count down to the next violation, and your ID displays until the ID and password are confirmed over the air. When the login is confirmed, your full name displays. When two drivers are in the cab, one driver is active and the other is inactive. For additional driver security, when there is a driver and co-driver logged into the IVG, there is a password challenge when the co-driver attempts to view or edit logs. To log in a second driver, go to the home screen, tap Driver Login, then tap Add. Type the second driver's ID and password. Close the keyboard, identify as the active or inactive driver, then tap OK. Identify a duty status and tap OK. To swap active drivers, select the inactive driver and tap Change. Tap OK. Enter that driver's password, close the keyboard and tap OK. Now the second driver is the active driver. To log out, go to the home screen, tap Driver Login, then tap Log Out. Identifies a logged out status and taps Log Out.
When a driver receives a new message, text-to-speech announces it,
A new message has arrived.
the envelope in the upper right corner changes color, an alert message displays, and the home button halo lights. Drivers can use voice commands to have the intelligence voice interface read messages aloud or read it on screen. The on-screen messages button shows the number of new messages waiting to be read. The driver taps Messaging to read or create messages. When the inbox opens, text-to-speech announces which message is selected. This indicates an unread message, and this is a read message. The exclamation points indicate urgent messages. From here, drivers read, reply to, or delete a message. The driver taps the message to read it. Drivers can scroll through long messages, or tap the arrows to scroll between messages. If a printer is connected, the driver can print messages. To reply to a message, the driver taps Reply. A reply macro may appear automatically. If it does, the driver fills in the blanks. The driver may select another macro by tapping Change Macro. When done, the driver taps Send and may select a priority for how the message is sent. Then the driver taps Yes. To save time and reduce errors, you may want your drivers to use fill-in-the-blank forms, also known as macro messages. To send a message, the driver taps Compose and scrolls to the desired macro. When the macro appears, the driver fills in the blanks. To move among fields, the driver presses the Tab key or taps in the field. The driver may need to scroll to enter all of the information. Fields outlined in red are mandatory. After all of the mandatory fields are filled in, the driver taps Send, may select a priority, and taps Yes. After the message is sent, the driver can tap Outbox to see if the transmission was successful. Let's look at sending a free-form message. Free-form messages are sent only when there is no macro that matches the information the driver wants to send. The driver taps Compose, then taps Freeform or taps Zero Freeform in the macro list. Just like the reply message, the driver types a message and taps Send. Then the driver may specify a priority, then taps Yes. If asked by technical support, the driver may need to provide information about the IVG as listed under Settings. The Settings application contains several tabs that provide important troubleshooting and setting information, as well as allow the driver to customize certain settings to his needs. The Settings tab provides mostly troubleshooting and settings information such as how frequently the IVG reports position information, how long the IVG waits before powering down after it is last used, and if over-the-air software updates are enabled for this unit. Screen calibration teaches the IVG to recognize finger presses. The driver can calibrate the IVG touchscreen if the screen is slow to respond or taps are inaccurate. When calibrating, be sure to touch and hold the crosshairs for 3 seconds before you move to the next. Let's see how that's done. From the Calibration tab, tap Calibrate and touch the crosshairs for 3 seconds. Do not swipe your finger, just press. When calibration is complete, tap anywhere on the screen and tap OK. If you continue to have problems calibrating the screen, you can attach a USB mouse to make selections. The driver can adjust the time zone displayed on the IVG by selecting it from the list, tapping Apply, then tapping OK to confirm the change. Changing the display time zone does not change the time zone tied to hours of service data. If your depot is located in an area that does not participate in daylight savings time, be sure that the driver does not check the Auto Adjust Clock checkbox. The MDC tab shows the status of the mobile data capture application and the status of the phone IVG synchronization. If this data seems out of date, tap Refresh. The Printers tab shows connected printers. If needed, the driver can change the default printer by tapping its name in the list. The driver can also print a test page or remove all connected printers.
Authorized technicians view information about the IVG on the System tabs as part of installation verification and troubleshooting. The driver won't need to open these tabs unless instructed to do so by an authorized technician. To provide system information, the driver navigates to and selects the System button. Here, the driver sees basic information about the IVG, including the unit address. The COM tab shows communication data, including the state of each COM system in the IVG. The GPS tab shows data received from the Global Positioning System antenna. GPS requires a clear view of the sky for accurate positioning. The Performance tab shows memory use on the IVG. The Diagnostics and VDS tabs are used by technicians at installation and for troubleshooting. The driver shouldn't need to access any other tabs.